So the Duke men's basketball official Twitter account was unhappy that Jon Scheyer did not win ACC Coach of the Year when awards were announced earlier this week. They responded to this. Pat Kelsey was the formal winner of ACC Coach of the Year. We can discuss what we think should have happened here in just a second. But I think everyone would agree Kelsey is like a worthy name to win ACC Coach of the Year with what Louisville has done and where they came from. Scheyer is also certainly worthy, potentially the National Coach of the Year with how good Duke has been. But just have rarely seen a school's actual social media handles kind of come out against their conference and go on record saying something was snubbed. We feel slighted. The tweet from Duke was this: haven't seen a coach snubbed for ACC Coach of the Year like this since Coach K didn't win it once over his final 22 seasons, which included 3 national titles, 10 ACC tourney titles, 5 ACC regular season titles, and 11 30-win seasons. Shout out Jon Scheyer. And then there is a graphic attached to this with a bunch of specific Jon Scheyer team stats for this season. 10 ACC wins by 25 plus points, the largest Duke win ever in 4 different ACC road venues, plus 434 point differential. You get the point. There's 7 more of these on the graphic. Go check it out on Duke's Twitter. But Carter, are you okay with this approach from Duke, their official team account, calling out their conference and referencing Coach K's 22 years without winning ACC Coach of the Year?
Look, it's two things for me here. The message, I'm not saying I don't agree with, right? That is, I mean, they said all the stats, they said all this. They didn't lie about anything in there. Also, I had no clue that Coach K didn't win it once over his final 22 seasons. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I have some
That's
thoughts on that.
that's kind of nuts when you think about it. Maybe that's just what the ACC is, but um, I got to stay strong on who I am as a person and my morals. This could have came from like Con Knipple Muse account. All right. What's some stupid parody account like Sion James biceps, like at Sion James biceps or something like that. The official account tweeting this is crazy to me. I'm sorry, and I understand you want to defend your guy, but the tone of like calling out the conference for it, not necessarily what I would do going into kind of the conference tournament, things like that. But um I just think that a official account tweeting this is pretty insane.
Why do you think it's insane? What makes it insane for you?
It's just like this isn't something you see from accounts like that. Like you'll see graphics about what coaches have done. Honestly, if they would have just posted the graphic, I'd be completely fine with that. But the whole like notion of like I can't believe our coach was snubbed for this, shout out to Jon Scheyer, is wild to me. Like just post the graphics.
Okay. I guess I have 3 things that surprise me about this. One of them I'm not like angry or upset about. 2 of them I am not happy with. As someone who like I am I allowed to say this, Cart? Like I'm on the Duke bandwagon this year, right? This has been my title pick all season long. I'm not a Brotherhood member. I'll make jokes at their expense sometimes, but like I'm rooting for this Duke team. I think that's fair to say, right?
As long as you, in that same breath, mention that I brought you along to the Baby Blue Devils bandwagon.
Sure. But like before we clicked record on this, like I did tell you I'm thinking about becoming a permanent Duke fan. I don't think you're in that realm right now. So like there's a lot going on with me and Duke identity wise right now. This is like one reason why I wouldn't be able to be a Duke fan because first off, the part of this that confuses me that I'm not upset about is it feels like they're actively publicly calling out their own conference. That doesn't seem like a wise move, right?
Mhm.
Like I've never really seen a program come out and basically put their league on blast and the voters on blast for like getting something wrong. You are a member of the ACC. I understand Duke is special, but like at the end of the day, like you kind of fall in line with all the other teams in this league. You're the best team, best program, the face of the league for sure. But I don't know. It just feels like this was very like finger waggy at the ACC of like, you always get us wrong. Like, you want to be promoting the ACC, if anything. You don't want to be necessarily like sticking middle fingers up to them. The two things that I have a big time problem with this are this. Number one, this ain't about Coach K.
I knew you were gonna go.
This has nothing to do with Mike Krzyzewski. What are we doing? This a Duke program, a Duke team, a Duke social account, whatever, making this snub, even if you believe that Scheyer was snubbed, making this about Coach K's 22 seasons is so blatantly against what makes this team special. This team being great has nothing to do with Coach K. And maybe the Brotherhood will disagree with me on that. But you lose all validity of your argument if you start the argument with, well, Coach K deserved more things than he got. Shut up. Like, this has nothing to do with that guy. He hasn't coached in 4 years. He's not here. He's not the one calling the shots. Scheyer is the one who you should be upset about. And if you make your point about Scheyer about Coach K, we should all just laugh at you. We should all ignore that. That's where I'm at with that. Um, the second part of this that I hate is this. Why do you think Coach K didn't win it over 22 years?
Why do I think he didn't?
Yeah, why do you think it would make sense? Maybe it doesn't make sense, but why what would be a reason that Coach K wouldn't win ACC Coach of the Year for 22 seasons when his team was great for 22 seasons?
Hmm. Maybe his team's underperformed from what
Maybe
they
he's
were.
coaching Duke? Like, I get it. I'm sorry. What do you want? You want Coach of the Year every year? Your team's picked what? First in the league every single season in the preseason? Like, you have a valid argument in certain years that are really special to nitpick this and say, listen, this year went so above and beyond that we've got to honor him. Again, I think Sheyer's deserving of the award this year. Sheyer's arguably deserving of National Coach of the Year this year with how good this Duke team is. But guess what? Coach of the Year naturally carries an inherent element of outperforming expectation. And when the expectation at Duke every single year is that you are the best team here, you don't get the award for just being the best team when you were supposed to be the best team. You've got to do something even more special than that. And again, I don't think Duke is advocating that Coach K won it 22 straight times. They're just pointing out like it's dumb that he hasn't won it a couple of times mixed in here. That's probably true. But I just feel like a huge part of this that's lost on Duke people is you are Duke. Like you can't win the overachievement award year after year when there's nothing to overachieve about. You're Duke. Like that's the biggest honor. That's the nicest thing I can say to you. You are Duke, but you can't beg for the award that worse programs get for outperforming their much lower expectations.
Also, like, take a step back here. Do you really care like that? Wasn't it earlier in the season when Jon Scheyer was like, "Yeah, I like this team because they don't do the whole media thing." Wasn't
Yeah,
that a thing?
was the thing.
Like, who do you? And also, like, take a step back. I'm probably the wrong person to talk about this because I don't get worked up about my guys or my team getting snubbed from awards. Like, maybe I'll do like some fake outrage, but that shit doesn't really matter to me that much. But you like Louisville won a total of 12 games in 2 years. Gee, they went 4-28 and 2-18 in the ACC. And then they followed that up by improving and going 8-24 in the ACC and 3-17. I'm sorry, 8-24 overall, 3-17 in the ACC. Pat Kelsey got that team to 25-6 and 18-2 in the conference. Like, you gotta respect that. There's no way you actually care about losing it to Pat Kelsey in this case.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It, it's
Like
it's and we're not here to be antagonistic, but it's a little bit like I'm Duke, I'm Shire, I deserve this. And maybe they do, but it's just I don't know, it's just not that big of a deal that you lost it.
Right. So you think Kelsey, like on his own, was a deserving recipient?
Yeah.
Do you think Kelsey was more deserving than Shire?
Yes.
Why?
Just because I think Kelsey took a program and had to start it from scratch, and in year one, he was able to spit this out while also losing one of his star transfer players.
Yeah, injury adversity, but Duke had the same. Not
What?
like lost the guy for the season, but Malik Brown was in and out. Okay. All right.
Come on.
All right. Um, Look, I struggle with it because I also think Kelsey's the right pick. I would vote Kelsey, making Louisville finish one game back of Duke in the ACC standings. Like, let's just, what are we doing? Chucky Hepburn's their best player. Their best player is not Cooper Flag. They finished one game worse than Duke. That's arguably more impressive to me than Duke losing one game against this ACC. So I don't know, but I think these are two of the three candidates for National Coach of the Year. Like the short list to me would be Pat Kelsey, Jon Scheyer, and Tom Izzo. So maybe Todd Golden in there too, those four.
Mhm.
But like that's it. It's not. I feel like acting like Shire got slighted when Kelsey may win National Coach of the Year
Right.
is like a little lost. He's a great candidate. He's not just like some, it's not like Greg Gard just beat Jon Scheyer, right? Kelsey
Right.
did a phenomenal job. The last note I want to make on this, again, Coach K's 22 years where he didn't win this award. Do you know how
Mhm.
many outright ACC championships Coach K won in his final 16 years at Duke in the ACC regular season?
I'm gonna guess four.
One.
Huh?
He won it once.
Really?
Mike Krzyzewski won the ACC outright one time in his final 16 years as the head coach at Duke, outright solo individually. He only shared it one other time. He only won two ACC titles in 16 years. The last one he got the outright one was his final year at Duke. When was he supposed to win Coach of the Year?
That's crazy.
You're the head coach at Duke, and you don't win your league 14 of 16 years, and you're mad you didn't win Coach of the Year?
That's a crazy stat.
It's
Truly.
absolutely nonsensical. So, yeah, maybe this is a line in the sand. Maybe I wouldn't be as good of a member of the Brotherhood as I thought, Cart.
Yeah, I think you're good where you're at.
But I love Shire Duke. I wasn't there on like Coach K deserves everything, Duke.
Oh, let me make myself very clear. This is still my national title pick,
Yeah.
even despite this graphic. It's still my national title pick.